Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. You know, when I started the channel, one of the reasons I began is when I heard first that Japan had video games that North America never got. And I told myself, well, what else was missing? What video games did I miss? And this is the ultimate historical compendium of all video games, so we will not miss a single one. Let's see where we left off. The last game we played was the very excellent Sea Battle for the Mattel Intellivision. I was blown away. This is a blast of a game, 5 stars for what it was able to accomplish. And we're going to push forward, moving on, playing every single video game with our next release. Right after Sea Battle, it is Judge for the Nintendo Game & Watch. We have about a handful of Game & Watch games that have come on the channel, and this is our next one. And there it is, Judge, the original Japanese box. And this is the one where they smash each other with a gavel back and forth. Looks like we got 4 different buttons, 2 different boxes, even a reconstructed box. But yeah, this one is in Japanese. There's the back of the box showing you how to put in the batteries. Make sure you replace those batteries so your Game & Watch lasts a long time. And there's the example of the cartridge itself, front and back. Let's take a look and see what Judge is like. As usual, Game & Watch games don't have a manual, but we can get the gist of it. All right, let's boot it up. It is October 4th, 1980, and it's the release of the brand new Game & Watch. Collect the whole set. We've already played about 4 Game & Watch games, and this is the newest one. To play Judge, you have to know exactly which buttons to start with. As you can see at the bottom, it has Game A, Game B, and then like all Game & Watches, there's the time that you can program in, and we have 4 different buttons. I'm going to double check our controls. Looks like it is one. Oh, it can play with 2 people. Oh, so you get to use both sides. One person on this side, one person on the other side. Over there. So whenever you start the game, you can use the hit and dodge for each hit, or hit button and a dodge button on each side. Okay, so let's start it up and see what it's like. So you see how the way the game works is there's a countdown, and then in the middle of the countdown you have an option to push the button to either hit them with the gavel or to dodge the gavel. And if you look, I'm pushing one of the buttons on the bottom right side. You have 4 different ones you can hit. There's the first 2 buttons, and then for the other 2, it's the on the left side. You can see me pushing the buttons there. And it's almost like you're playing a more complicated version of rock, paper, scissors. So you don't know if they're going to go high or low, and you also don't know what number you're going to get if you try to hit them, but they can also dodge the attack. So this is, I would say, the better Game & Watch game we play that you can play with 2 people. You have one friend that's hanging out on the bus with you. You can play at the same time. So you can see I'm using both sides to control it, but you can pick one side you want them to hit, and then you'll get a number based on that. And then if you want, you can also dodge. So this is hitting, and you can see the hit that happened on the left side got a higher score, so then they got the point. And then it continues to score left and right. We got 18 versus 11 points, and you just keep playing over and over again. So it's another really good time waster, and I'd say one of the better ones. The fact that you can play with 2 people is great. And this one, I'm not sure if it's the Silver Series or not. Let's take a look at the artwork and double check if we can switch it out. I'm not sure if we can, but let's see. So we got different, yeah, there we go. So there's different ones. The one we're looking for is the first one. I don't think it's the Silver Series. And it should be this one. There we go. So this was the release that came out on October 4th. And it's still going in the background, even with not pushing the buttons. So it continues to play and randomly pick different numbers so that someone else, as you can see, there's a dodge on the left, but I'm just pushing the buttons on either side. So that's pretty cool. So great job, Nintendo, adding a 2-player element to that. So for our 5-star rating, for Game & Watch, we've seen interchangeable cartridges for handhelds. So Game & Watch isn't doing anything new or profound. It's a great time waster, and it is a lot of fun, especially for on the go, having a game. It's one game that you can play anytime you want. So we usually are giving these around the average range. This one we're going to give slightly above for Judge, just considering what it is like to have a handheld that you could play with someone else. So we're going to give this one 4 stars for Judge. It is the better Game & Watch game that we've seen. All right, so after 4 stars, let's move on to our next game. Oh my gosh, this is it. I don't believe it. We've come this far. We finally got to Pac-Man. Now, we played Pac-Man earlier this year because it was the Japanese release, but this is the North American release, Pac-Man. I mean, who wants Pac-Man? What the puck? We want Pac-Man. This is the real deal. We're here in 1980, about to play, for the first time, Pac-Man. And I actually thought Pac-Man was the reason we got the maze craze of the top-down view of the arcade games. But we've seen other top-down maze games that were before Pac-Man and other dot-munching games before Pac-Man. I thought this was the one that started the craze. So if we've already seen from Head On and from other maze top-down games, I'm going to be blown away then, because we're going to see way too many clones and copies of this, because this formula is ahead of its time. This is going to be emulated by company after company trying to get on the same formula as Pac-Man. And the sound effects as well. Oh my gosh, so good. All right, so here's the artwork we got for Pac-Man. This is the Midway advertisement flyer. So originally Namco developed it and called it Pac-Man, and that's the version we played earlier in the year. And now we're down in October, November. I'll see whenever we load the game up. So this is the North American release, and we have Midway that is distributing this in North America. Midway's amazing new 1- or 2-player full-color video game. I wonder if they knew how big it was going to be when it came out. Because a lot of games, video games, when they come out, I don't think they have the idea ahead of time that it's going to be as influential. I mean, it's a little guy that's munching around the screen on dots. And we've already seen dot pickups for video games. All right, so there's the arcade cabinet. I don't know what they were thinking with the side art. It doesn't even look like Pac-Man. There's some yellow guy with red eyes. The ghost works because it looks like the ghost in the game. But that's not Pac-Man. Who is that? Looks like Pac-Man's baby. But we're actually going to see baby Pac-Man later, so it's not baby Pac-Man, it's something else. And there's our control panel for the original Pac-Man. It has the 4-way joystick, and you can see that's it. You just move. The only buttons are to start a game with 1 or 2 players. But there it is again. Who is that? Was that supposed to be Pac-Man when his mouth is closed? They don't recreate that image very often. I can see why. Yeah, so controls, very, very simple. And there's the flyer, or the arcade marquee, Midway and Bally Company for Pac-Man. And screenshots, yes, everyone knows what Pac-Man looks like. All right, so here is the parts and operating manual for Pac-Man. This is the Midway manual, and there you go. They have different arcade cabinets that are possible. There is the cabaret on the right side, if I'm correct, cocktail in the middle, and then on the far left is the upright cabinet. So let's see what kind of things they say about this, because it's already been released in Japan by Namco, and I want to see how they explain it. But it looks like they don't. For instructions, all this has is general instructions and interior push assembly. No, it looks like the manual is just giving us installation instructions for Pac-Man. We are not wanting to install a Pac-Man arcade cabinet here. Yeah, so installation. All right, so I was expecting to have some kind of game concept or having them explain what the game is, but it doesn't look like we have any luck there. So no help from the manual, but it is Pac-Man. We already know how to play this one. All right, so it is October 26, 1980. The release of Pac-Man in the arcades by Midway. Namco is the original developer. And we have lots of different artwork we can see around the cabinet. As you can see, they're using the crazy, weird-looking Pac-Man with the ghost, and then they have instructions on both left and right side. And what I'm going to do is see how many different views we can switch out to change the artwork. Because when we played Pac-Man, I think we switched out the artwork to look the Japanese arcade cabinet. So let's see what it's like on this one. We have a lot of different options. Yeah, so we have the Pac-Man upright, which is this one. It kind of slims it down and makes it a little smaller on the screen. And then we have the Pac-Man. That's the one we played when we played it earlier. And then the Cabaret, which looks very similar. It's just a different arcade cabinet. And then the the original Pac-Man background, which we saw before. And then this is the cocktail version. So the cocktail is the top down, where you can put your drinks or martinis, what have you, on the top of it. Welcome, welcome. We are here for the major release of Pac-Man. It's October 1980, and we're checking out the different artwork that we have for, gosh, so many different options here because Pac-Man's so popular. We have the Japanese cocktail, the European cocktail, and then, oh, there you go. That's more of the newer classic Pac-Man artwork around the outside. Not really what they would have seen in 1980, but cool anyway. Looks awesome. And then we have different artwork from different areas or different regions. Yes, that's me, the kooky guy playing every video game in order of release. Oh yeah, there we go. That's another cocktail version from the top down. And what's cool about the cocktail version, if you have the cabinet, one person sits on one side and the other person sits on the other. And whenever you switch players, 1 to 2, it's alternating. They flip the screen so the other person can see from their side. Okay, so that's great. I like this wide view, and we had another one. Yeah, this one's I like this one because it's using the 1980 artwork from the arcade cabinet, and it has the instructions on the side, so it works great. All right, here we go. Let's put a quarter in and play some Pac-Man. Push the start button. Bonus Pac-Man for 10,000 points. Yes! Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. I might just stay here and play Pac-Man for the remainder of the episode because it's so much fun. I want to see how far we can go at least. If you're not aware, every single one of the ghosts has a different artificial intelligence programmed in. So whenever we first start the game, you'll notice that one of the ghosts goes to the far left corner or right corner and then seeks out Pac-Man. Then there's another ghost who always tries to avoid Pac-Man. And then another ghost is always going to try to confuse Pac-Man and always do something random. So they all have different things programmed in. And you can see, at least before I pick up the power pellet, that they're all going to be moving in a certain way. So if you watch a certain color ghost, you can pick up on their patterns and what they've been programmed to do. All right, so no more power pellets to help me. Here we go. You're going to see them try to do a pincher attack and bring me in. Yep. It's always the red one. I want to see the attract mode again because I want to get all their names down. So there you go. You notice how the red ghost was starting to move to the top left corner and then was going to move around. There's also something I'd like to try. There is a gimmick in the game that if you stay in this location, there's a possible bug, depending on what version you play, where the ghost will never get you. So I'm going to stay in this corner and see if this is one of the versions where the ghost won't get you from this spot. So it's a little hidden secret that if you stay right here and you're on a certain version of the original Pac-Man, the ghost will not get you. So we should be playing the original from 1980, but I'm not sure which version we're playing. But it's working so far. None of the ghosts are going for me. And this is one of the glitches that people exploited, and were able to play the game and rack up high scores and high scores. Oh, it timed out. Okay, so it killed me automatically, but none of the ghosts actually got me. But it worked. The hidden spot of where you won't get attacked by the ghosts. Oh, we got to get the fruits. That's right. Okay, so if you look in the bottom left, right behind my head, it shows the score you'll get for the different fruits per level. And so at the bottom of the screen, we see we picked up the cherry, and then we picked up the strawberry, and then next is going to be the orange, and then after that, they don't show us, it's right over behind my shoulder here, they don't show us what the next fruits are, but the more and more you get higher and higher points. So we'll go and pick up another strawberry. And of course, if you're one of the pro players, you're going to play with, oh, he's going for me. You're going to go for trying to get all the ghosts while you get a power pellet, because you get the most points that way. Oh, no. It's that red one, man. I wonder if it's Inky Blinky Clyde. And man, here we go. It's Blinky is his nickname, and then Pinky and then Inky, and then Clyde's the orange one. There we go. So Blinky always gets me. He's always the most aggressive. And then there's the example of points we get. Every dot's 10 points, 50 points for the power pellet. And I really hope that we could see in the manual the name, because I've always heard it referred to as the power pellet, but I don't know for sure if that's what they called it back in 1980. Maybe over time they changed the name, but we don't have anything official because manual just had how to set up the arcade cabinet. Not helpful for us getting Pac-Man lore, for all you crazy Pac-Man lovers out there. All right, so here we go. Let's put another quarter in. And let's go. We gotta get that orange fruit. Give me some more fruit. And the first level always starts with a little slower of the ghosts, so they make it a little easier for you. But you can already see some of the patterns of the ghosts. And, oh, we gotta make sure we get those cherries before they go away. Get them. They'll also start the first level a little simpler, where not all the ghosts are coming out after you. You notice that we had some that's, one of them stayed in the middle of the screen for a little bit longer before they came out. There's also, Pac-Man only has one board. So every time we play this, oh, they got me. Every time we play this, it's the exact same maze every time. It does not change. So if you had played this back in the 1980s over and over and over again, and you became really proficient, you would know the best pattern or way to move around the maze, and it ends up becoming where you just follow the same thing every single time. The only thing that's different is the ghosts get faster, and you end up getting different speeds, so you have to be able to be quicker at it. So let's see how far we can get and get the game going really, really fast. Let's go, let's go. Man, I love the sound effects. This is one of those games that is really hitting on the golden age of arcade games, they call it. It sounds so good. All right, grabbing the strawberry. Now, once we have the strawberry, that means next round we'll be able to pick up the orange if we can get it. Now, you notice that now on the next level, it's now not giving us as much time with the blue ghosts. As soon as we get the power pellet, they're going right for, they're already switching out. All right, let's see if we can get this next power pellet before they get us. There we go. And don't need the other strawberry because we already got one, but now we just got to get past it. Without any power pellets, I don't know. Not looking good. There we go. They got me. Come on. I also really enjoy how when you play the game, we played other arcade games with four-way joysticks, but this one feels really good as you corner whenever you turn around. Oh, and get the cutscenes too. Oh yeah, cutscenes and music. I actually thought Pac-Man was the first game with a cutscene, and I was wrong. We've seen other arcade games on the channel before this that had cutscenes. Arcade games that had cutscenes. So here we go, round 3. I don't even think I'll be able to get around. Oh, there's that orange. Oh no. Blinky's coming for me. Go get that. Oh yes, okay, we got the orange. That means if we get to the next round, we'll get to see the next fruit and collect the next fruit. People have always said this is one of the games that really got more women to play arcade games, because primarily all these arcades have been about shooting and attacking and things that guys would be into, but they say that this is one. Oh, wow. Is that Inky? No, Inky's the blue one. Pinky is obviously the pink one. It was Inky. Inky is the blue one. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can finish this up before we get wiped out. I think we got it. Yes. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's see what the next fruit is on the next map. And we got another life because we got 10,000 points. This game's also notorious for having the death screen. If you get to level 256, the whole game glitches out. And one side of the screen, you can't access it. Oh, I thought we already got the orange. I want to see the next one. Oh, this isn't good. Uh-oh. All right, so if you notice that also the ghosts had different speeds. Wow, I can't believe I got out of that one. Whenever you pick up and you turn corners, you actually get a little bit faster speed around the corners than the ghosts. But I'm going on and on about Pac-Man. It's like there's this stuff hasn't been said before. There's so much that's already been said about Pac-Man. There's really not too much I can say that people haven't heard about it. It's more of this channel is just to showcase what was happening at the time for video games. Oh, this isn't good. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, this is way too much fun. We play so many games, and playing something that's this classic and this good feels awesome. So notice how fast the speed comes up, and once I get the power pellet, what is that, 3 seconds? And then it already wiped me out. Yep, already down. It just goes faster and faster and faster. And there you go. On that quarter, I still was able to keep playing before the game over. Shadow, Speedy, Bashful, and Pokey. No one calls them by their character names. We always use the nicknames. Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. Clyde's the cool one. I think he's the crazy one who goes all over the place, and he's always random. But then Bashful is the one that tries to avoid you. So wherever you go, they're going to end up going the opposite direction. So if you're getting chased by Inky and Pinky, then you know that Bashful is just going to go the other way and may end up accidentally going around your spot. Okay, here we go. Let's do it again. Put another quarter in. Push start. We've also seen a lot of arcade games from Namco that have been amazing. And so this is just another amazing arcade game that goes in line with the other ones that we have seen and we're going to see. Namco is one of the few arcade developers and distributors that's still around today. And this is their roots. This is right in the beginning in 1980 when Namco was already blown out of the park in the arcades. And I love how smooth it feels. After playing other arcade games with 4-way joysticks that felt, I wouldn't just say clunky, but it didn't respond as smoothly, Pac-Man works amazing. Especially with that cool cornering trick, it's excellent. No! Alright, let's see if we can go for the last one and finish it up. Be kind. Yeah, it's Blinky and Inky. Blinky, Inky, Pinky, Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and Clyde. So it's Blinky and Pinky that are the ones that actually come at you. Yeah, you can see, watch the two ghosts. They go to each corner and then finally come after me. And there's Inky coming after me now. Bashful is, oh no, Pinky? Wait, no, I thought Bashful was the blue one. Bashful wasn't very bashful that time. He was running right at me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got out of that one. Feels like I'm playing, compared to the other video games, like this is the biggest action game. It's so intense compared to everything else we played. After you play over and over again games from the certain decade, you get in the mindset of expecting certain things, and this one just feels so good and works so well. This isn't good. Uh-oh. I don't believe this. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I got out of that. I never claimed to be a video game pro, but that was just random luck. I'm more wanting to showcase the video games and say, here, look, this is what it was. All the kids at home. If you're looking back on historical records, this is the only person that's brave enough or crazy enough to play every single video game. Even the good ones. Oh, there's the orange. Or the grapefruit, whatever it is. Oh, I see you can't leave those dots behind. That's not good. Not a good strategy. There we go. We got the 10,000, and they got the sound effects for it, too. Something else that I really applaud Pac-Man is having constant sound. It's constant sound effects, constant noise happening, and that really keeps you engaged. We've had other arcade games they did that didn't have the sound. Oh, that was not paying attention to myself. We've had games that either didn't have sound because they weren't emulated, or they weren't a program to have sound all the time. They would have a little ditty in the beginning and maybe a little sound effects, but not a lot. And Pac-Man just keeps going, going, going. And it makes you want to keep playing more. You want to hear more. Makes you want to eat. This is like perfect for, if you didn't know, the founder of Atari, Nolan Bushnell, is also the founder of Chuck E. Cheese. Because, I mean, why not? You're going to make video games, you might as well make video games and then put them in a place where kids are going to play them. And so this game is like perfect for Chuck E. Cheese. You put this into Chuck E. Cheese and you're like, man, I feel like I need to eat more pizza. I don't know why, but something tells me I'm hungry. I got to start munching on a pizza. Let's go grab one. And Pac-Man looks like a pizza. That's how it started. The developer apparently was eating the pizza, pulled a slice and said, that's it. I'm going to make a video game character off of that. So notice that some of the ghosts have different speeds. If we try to run from Blinky, he always is going to outrun us. He's got the fastest speed. That's why he usually gets you. But then we have other ghosts that we can outrun. Oh, this isn't good. I don't know if I can come out of this, especially... and see, Clyde is just random. He just comes out and he just happened to be in my way. It was a happy accident. Whatever, Clyde. If you're just joining us, we are checking out every single video game, and we just happened to stumble upon Pac-Man in 1980. Oh, look at that. Inky Man he's ready to rock. Now, we're on the next level, so we only have a few seconds. Hey, there it is. We got the apple. The next fruit. I think the one at the end is the pretzel, is the last one, but you gotta be on your game to play that. Look how fast they move. Look how fast the power pellet, they're already gone. And you have to understand all the movement of the different ghosts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's no more power pellets. This is not looking good. I'm scared. Oh, he stopped running after me. What? Okay, I'll take it. Thanks, buddy. I don't believe it. We're on the next round. And we got the apple. All right, we're moving to the next one. We got the next cutscene, too. What? He has a human leg under the ghost? Did anyone else see that? You mean all the ghosts are actually people? I'm a little concerned. All right, so I'm gonna use the power pellets wisely this time. Try to be smart with it. They're giving me more time with the ghosts though for the power pellets, so that's nice. I love the line in Simpsons whenever. Oh man, is that my last one? It is. What a good run though. Pac-Man, such a classic, excellent. Blinky, I still hate you. Pinky, I hate you too. Inky, I hate you even more. But Clyde, you're cool. I like you, Clyde. You get the job done. All right, so obviously, Pac-Man is 5 stars. If you did tune in to the episode we did with Puck-Man, I gave that one 5 stars as well. I guess I could have knocked it down a notch because Puck-Man's a terrible name. But Pac-Man 5 stars, definitely. That is the best, if not one of the best, arcade games you could play in 1980. All right, so after Pac-Man, I don't know what to expect. Our next game is, this is actually what we're going to be doing next year in 1981. I'll give you a quick preview. We're going to start putting in magazines also with the games to kind of see what the landscape was like for video games. And this is a very, very old magazine for computers called BYTE. And so we're not going to go into any magazines now. We're going to wait until 1981. But this was a magazine that began in 1975 that talked about computers first becoming available for people to make at home. Because before we played the Apple II, the TRS-80, and the Commodore PET, you would go to a hobby store and you would buy the parts for a computer and you'd build it, kind of like a ham radio. Something that people do in their spare time, and it wasn't anything mainstream. So BYTE was one of the first magazines that gave you updates of the newest parts you could get for your computer. And then, of course, we had in 1977 the trilogy of the trinity of home computers arrive, and it's already a self-built computer, and you bought the whole thing. And then home computers went off and went crazy. So we're going to hit on a few of these in next year, but I just have it slipped in for now, but we'll be able to see more video game magazines coming in 1981. The reason I didn't want to do these before is because BYTE was the only magazine I had collected in the 70s. And that was the only one we'd see. But starting in 1981 is when Atari starts to have publications of magazines about what's happening in the Atari world. So we'll kick those off and see more of those in 1981. All right, so moving on to our next game. This is The End. That's it. That's the title of the game, The End, in the arcades. All right, so we're going back in the shooter world. Of course, arcade games still have the shooters. Let's take a look at the artwork for The End. Wait, was that a real advertisement flyer? So it's 2 different ones. Looks like this is the Stern one, and this is all examples of The End. I don't know who was doing the marketing on that, but that is hilarious. This is The End. Here it is, the latest video game from Stern. And what a game it is. You could say the end is the last word in fantasy or fun. But in the final analysis, the end is nothing more than the beginning of big profits for you. Because they're advertising to the guys that did the arcade, not just arcade. These were in laundromats. These were in different bars and places around the places all over the world. So they're just trying to sell to those people. All right, so there's the example of the arcade cabinet for The End by Stern. And for our control panel, looks like, yes, it's just like Space Invaders, move left, right, and fire. We got it. We are masters of left, right, and fire. And there is the arcade marquee. Awesome artwork. Not the best picture, but it looks awesome. And was it developed by Stern or just distributed by Stern? Let's see what happens when we boot it up. We have no manual for it. We do have different versions. We have a bootleg version, and then we have the Stern version. So this is, developed by Konami? That is awesome. Okay, so this is The End. It is November 1980, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, the first video game we've seen developed by Konami. If you're not familiar with Konami, you'll see them later, that's for sure. All right, so we got some great artwork around the outside of the cabinet, and the Starfield, man. Moon Cresta and, I'd say even earlier than that, Galaxian was the first one to have this Starfield. There are so many games that have copied the multicolored Starfield scroll in the background. It almost makes me think that this is a Galaxian clone or bootleg, but it's its own game. The End is its own. Developed by Konami. That's so cool. So yes, everything we saw by Stern was, they were either the distributor of the arcade cabinet for a certain region, most likely North America. All right, so the arcade attract mode is showing us, obviously we're shooting, but it also looks like we have blocks, like we're going to play a breakout kind of game and shoot them out of the way. That's awesome. Player 1, game over. Oh, loving the colors. Yeah, if it is, it might be combining ships and breakout where we're shooting blocks and knocking them out. All right, there's our score table. Don't forget the score table. Got to have the score. And like all arcade cabinets, we can also go to the back of the arcade, flip the dip switches to change options of what we see. And most of the time, it's just changing what score you need to get a new life. All right, so let's put a quarter in. Oh, nice sound effects. And push and start. Loving the sound. Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is awesome. All right, so it looks like we got aliens taking away... Oh, they already blew me up. Looks like aliens are taking away pieces. I can't shoot the pieces like I thought. I thought it was going to be something like Breakout. Can I shoot the mothership, though? Oh, man, but this plays really well. Sound is awesome. Explosions are awesome. It's like ants building a hive in front of me. Because all the ships are insect-based. We went from an arcade game that appeals to women to an arcade game that totally appeals to guys. Yeah, I want to shoot the bugs, man. Let's shoot those bugs. And the music is like a horror movie. It's awesome. Oh, I see. They're building The End. And if they build it, it's The End. I wish I could shoot that mothership at the top, but I can't. It looks like I can just shoot the enemies, but it's constantly bringing things in. Man, but the laser shot sound is so good. Yeah, right now, all the bricks do is it just makes a barrier that protects me, and it also can't let me shoot. Unlike Space Invaders, which you had the barrier at the bottom, but you could shoot a hole through it and then keep going. Oh man, this is so good. There we go. What happens next? It's froze me. Chance time. Oh, is this like a bonus round? It says chance time, but it's doing exactly the same thing it was doing before. We didn't get a manual on this, so we didn't get anything to explain what like the game concept is or what the design. what they were going for, because a lot of times we can have them explain what this is or what's happening, or sometimes even a story. Not really a lot. The stories we're getting more on the home computer space. Oh, they got me. Oh man, the sound and music is so good. I love it. So as the first game we've ever seen by Konami, this is awesome. They have knocked it out of the park. Let's put another quarter in and play. It will not be the end for me. I also want to see if there's other game modes, because obviously at this point there are a lot of pros with shooters like this, and we've seen shooters that add different elements like game modes similar to Lunar Lander, where you got to refuel, or they have upgrades to your ship. You have multiple shots you can shoot, and so this one is still a single shot. Oh, I walked right into that one. Anybody want to explain to me what the heck that artwork is on the left side of the screen? It's like half bug, half robot. It is awesome. Anybody that's sensitive to grotesque imagery probably shouldn't watch this channel, because we're going to see a lot of creepy things when it comes to video games on this channel. If you haven't seen Joust or know what Joust is like, get ready, because the artwork on that one is interstellar. It is awesome. Alright, so still doing okay, but they just keep coming. They're coming out of the mothership. That's why, if I was a smart pilot, I'd be blowing up the mothership. Not wasting my time with these guys. Alright, so I'm looking for another game mode, a cutscene, something that's adding to this, because it said chance time before. And I'm still only able to shoot one shot. We already checked the controls. The controls only have one fire button. Oh, they got me. I wanted to keep it going. And there it is. Game over. It is the end. If you're just joining us, we're playing every single video game in order of release, and we are in 1980, November 1980. This is the first video game by Konami. I'm going to put another quarter in and give one more shot to see if we have multiple game modes. All right, here we go. The background sound effects, though, I feel like it's taking the Space Invaders vibe of the thumping. Oh, I can't believe it. The thumping heartbeat and then increasing it, because it sounds awesome. And it feels like the end is coming. Oh yeah, not doing very well. It's very difficult to narrate and talk about a game while you're playing an action game or a Twitch game like this, where you have to focus on bullets and how you shoot and timing. But man, it is so fun. It does feel like the game should have something more. Like after we get done with the end, or after they finish building, then we end up taking out the ship at the top, or we get another laser cannon, because after playing games like Moon Cresta, it still plays so well. It's awesome. Especially with the sound effects. That is great. So that was the first game we've ever played by Konami. That was the end, and we played it till the end. All right, so for star rating, this one's definitely above average. I'm even thinking to go, I don't want to go 5, because they didn't do anything to push the shooter genre, but sound effects were good, and the example of the aliens building something, they gave you incentive to keep playing, and sound effects were explosions and stuff were awesome. So we're going to go ahead and give that one 4.5. That is amazing, excellent game for 1980. One of the best you could play in 1980. All right, so after the end, let's move on to our next game. Our next game is New York, New York. And it looks like we're defending New York from aliens. It's another shooter, so left, right, and fire. We got those controls down. Let's see what the artwork is like for New York, New York. Here is our advertisement flyer from Gottlieb, New York, New York. Gottlieb's talking video challenges you to save the city. Alien spacecraft attack New York and threaten the world. Only you can save the city by destroying the leadership and her fleet. It's a great new video that will attract every player, and it talks. Yes! So this would be our third, I think, video game ever to talk to us. The aliens tease, taunt, and even compliment the player for fine shooting. Scoring is fun with progressively greater rewards and exciting mystery values. Mystery values. I want to know what my score is going to be. So you can see on the left side, they're showing cocktail and upright cabinets. The invasion has started, so don't delay. This is Gottlieb. Gottlieb? Pick your flavor. There's the example of the arcade cabinet, the upright version of New York, New York. And there is a terrible picture of the control panel, but it's easy controls, left, right, and fire. Yes, just like any other shooter. There's the arcade marquee. Yes, we're defending. Save the city from an alien attack. We're going to save New York. New York, New York. It gives you a more, I guess, North American vibe because Space Invaders were obviously trying to kill the aliens before they attack us or land, get to Earth. But now it's a city. We're defending New York. All right, so we got a manual for this one. Let's see what it is like. There it is, Gottlieb's New York, New York. Operator and service manual. And there you go, all the explanation of the arcade cabinet. So if you weren't aware, there's the illumination panel, the speaker, the top glass, smoke filter, the fire button, the players. Yeah, they point out all the obvious ones. This is actually the most rudimentary explanation of what an arcade cabinet is. I love it. So do we have anything about what the game is? Power up, bookkeeping. Okay, we got gameplay, and that's it. So let's see what gameplay has for us. There we go. Flying saucer changes color with each direct hit. Hit squadron leader while still white in color for higher mystery score. 22 small target ships destroyed activates UFO. If player is destroyed, 22 more ships must be hit before the UFO appears. When the UFO is hit, the screen count increments, and the player starts with a new, more aggressive squadron of 22 ships. And then they start dropping bombs, tracking bombs, and the flyer saucer appears. The game says, "I'm here." Cool. After the first hit, the flying saucer, the game randomly says, "Come on and hit me." Sweet. So that's where the talking comes from. Sweet. And hit me. All right, so for different versions, we have the Gottlieb version. It must be another version, but we're going to be playing the first version that came out. So this is November 1980, and we're playing New York, New York by Gottlieb. And there we go. We got some great artwork on the sides. What we'd see at the arcade for the arcade cabinet. You must save New York from UFO. From UFO. So the shooter is moving left to right, and there it is, the starfield again that Galaxian started. They have the color starfield. Everybody wants to be like that. All right, so I want to see if the track mode has anything where they show the UFO or any talking. But so far, we've heard nothing. Hello. And the bottom part that says Sigma most likely means it was distributed by Sigma or published by them. But yeah, it looks like it's just repeating the same thing over and over again. Oh, cool explosion, though. I love it. Let's put a quarter in and push and start. Oh, the sound is so quiet. I can barely make out what it is. Let me raise the volume just a little bit so we might have... Let me know if that sounds a little louder. Because it's super quiet from my side. But it's playing constant music. It almost sounds like it's background music or ambiance. So there's our UFOs. You gotta hit them multiple times. I really want to hear the game talk to us. It's so rare for us to hear that. The first game we ever heard was into Stratovox, and that was so cool. We also get to shoot 2 shots at once, which is a little rare. There we go. I don't know how well you can hear that one, but that was the first one. Come on. All right, so for all the talking video games we played, this one I'd say is a little muffled. Nice. Oh, they even had Japanese on the screen that time. So the original we got to be playing is not the North American release, unless they release the North American release with Japanese after the explosion in the middle. We've told everybody that the genre doesn't matter. We're going to be highlighting and playing all genres of games. So if you're not a big fan of shooters, sit tight. We're going to be playing lots of shooters. Thanks, Space Invaders. Oh, there it is. So to keep the game talking, you continue to shoot that pinwheel object in the middle, or where the UFOs are trying to get their energy from. So cool. Any video game that talks is a treat. There's so many bullets firing, which is awesome. This feels more like I'm flying around in space rather than protecting New York. I know there's a Statue of Liberty on the left, but it's kind of floating, and I feel like I'm floating, especially with the Starfield in the background. But I'm still going on 1/4, so I've died a few times, over 3, and it's still letting me continue on. Alright, so I like the gimmick, though. If you notice how the score works, when you start getting a ring of ships, it adds up, and it gets higher and higher. And if you keep you have to keep the UFOs going around in a circle. There it is. And if you keep the UFOs going while it makes the circle, it racks up the score higher and higher, but then you have a lot of bullets coming after you. So another great idea of the risk reward. Keep the UFOs going, you get more bullets, but you can get more points. And we saw this with Moon Cresta, adding where your ship gets bigger and you got more laser fire, but you're a bigger target. So, excellent job on that. You must save New York from UFO. Not a UFO or the UFO, just UFO. And you saw it. Whenever the UFO comes up, it's literally the word UFO, and it flies around, and then you shoot that. Hilarious. All right, way to go, Gottlieb. All right, so that was pretty good. All right, so what we'll do now is, if we want to look at the comparison because of games we've seen from 1980, this one's a talking game that has a new scheme for how to get your score up or score high. And I really enjoy that they're adding something or changing something about it. I don't know how high I can push it, though, for how well it's going. It's obviously better than average, and the talking is muffled, but it's still talking. No other games, there's only like 3 that have talked to us from all the video games we played. So I'm willing to go maybe 4.5. I have to think about, from everything else we played thus far, yeah, we're going to go 4.5 for New York too. Because the talking element of it, and the fact that you have this risk reward to keep ships on the screen and bullets firing. Plus you can fire 2 bullets at once. Yeah, so it's very fun to play. It works really well. All right, so 4.5 stars for New York. Let's move on to our next game. Oh, yes, this is Radar Scope. So we are still in the arcades. We've been getting hit after hit from arcade games, and it's not going to stop. We're going to get a lot more, especially next year. So this is Radar Scope. Actually, I've never played Radar Scope, but it's notorious because Radar Scope is the game that Nintendo made, and they didn't sell. Radar Scope did not sell well, and so they used the monitors for Radar Scope to program another game, and we're going to see that game next year. So I just know that Radar Scope wasn't good enough or didn't sell as much, and they had to reuse it for a game you may have heard called Donkey Kong, which we'll see later. So a lot of the Radar Scope monitors were turned into Donkey Kong. All right, so here we go. Let's see what it's like. Let's take a look at the artwork. Here is the Radar Scope advertisement flyer. Nintendo's arcade flyers have been pretty to the point. Here's the logo, here's the system, and then there's an awesome picture, and then there's nothing else. There's no other words on the screen. So Nintendo's Radar Scope looks like pretty generic, like it's going to be another shooter. And there's the arcade cabinet for radar scope. I believe that the arcade PCB was used for Donkey Kong. So all these extra radar scopes, it wasn't just the screen or the monitor. They actually took the arcade PCB and then turned it into what would eventually be Donkey Kong. All right, so there's our control panel. Looks like we have left, right, and fire. So it's just a normal shooter game. It's got a lot of instructions, though, on the far left. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, so there you go. Left, right, and fire. Just like any other shooter we played in the arcades. And there's our arcade marquee, Radar Scope by Nintendo. Nintendo, that's a catchy name. I think they're going to go places. And there we go. Radar Scope has a background that I don't think is programmed. Like the color behind that, I don't think that's part of the, I think it's part of the overlay. And yeah, there we go. So there's some artwork for Radar Scope. Let's take a look at different versions. We have a TRS-01 version. We're going to play the first version that was released by Nintendo. It is November 1980, and we are playing Radar Scope in the arcades by Nintendo R&D 1. And it looks like this one did not load for us, but no problem. We got plenty of ways to play. Let's try it again and see if this one runs better for us. Yes, we got it. With all the artwork on the side, too. And the backdrop of the color Starfield. So we've already seen the multicolor Starfield from Galaxian, and this one's just a straight red dot Starfield. But does the attract mode have anything? I'm actually going into this expecting something really terrible because I've just heard it didn't sell well. But I need to clear my mind and just pretend I'm just in the arcade. It's 1980. This is a brand new game that came out. It's called Radar Scope, and we're going to have a blast with it and see what happens after that. So attract mode is playing the game. We got no sound. There's a damage meter at the bottom. I'm not sure what that is. And we didn't have a manual for this. So we're just going to play and see what it's like. I want to see also if they have other... let's see if they have anything for different video options for us. They do not, so that's it. We're just going to see this, and I was expecting instructions maybe on the outside, but no instructions, just going to go play it. All right, let's put a quarter in and push start. Captain, your duties are to shoot 48 UFOs. Good luck. 48? I don't know if I have time for that. Oh my gosh, yeah, we got plenty. Big vibes of Space Invaders, though. I mean, come on, look at this. Oh, I can't shoot them until they swing down. Can I not shoot them in the background? Oh, I can. Okay, it's a really timed shot, though. So they come swooping in. Oh man, they got me. And the explosion reverses the screen. Crazy. Yeah, so my shots do go all the way, but they don't go past the starfield. So we have a grid view, which it reminds me of an arcade game we played called Devil Zone. Really difficult arcade game. It was like for the pro shooters. Notice that I can shoot more than one bullet. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I love that. I can get this rapid fire motion going and get good shots in. And I'm getting one ship at a time, maybe one or two ships at a time that come swooping in, but they're not doing anything crazy difficult. Like, I can tell what pattern they're gonna make as they come in, but of course I'm saying that, and then they're gonna do something crazy, and then I die. So you can see they have like two shots. One goes forward, one goes a little bit to the left, and it looks like I just have to clear the whole field, and I can't get past the grid, so my shots don't go all the way back to the end. But it is fun to play. It works really well. And we have a constant sound effect or music in the background. Oh, I don't know what these bombs are doing. They're laying mines now. I'm scared. As long as these guys are still out there. Okay, so we got one more. As he swoops off, they eventually come back and get us. And if you look at the bottom, we have a damage meter. I guess that's the number of bombs that come in. Complete attack mission. Damage percent. Yikes. 25.5%. That's not good. Okay, so we're going on to the next round. It looks like we got different colored ships. Are they going to do the exact same thing? Oh, they got different sound effects, though. That's cool. It says this was programmed by Nintendo R&D 1. very famous for being the programmers for the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Nintendo Game Boy. So the same, I don't know if it's all the same guys, but lots of the team that were there are the ones that were working on this game for Radar Scope. Oh, nice, it caught on fire, that's cool. Alright, so we got, yeah, the mines come in, and it looks like only so many mines can hit because I have a damage meter at the bottom, and once it goes to the end, I bet that's a game over. But on 1/4, without having any prior knowledge of playing the game, I'm still going. But the multiple shots help so much. We play so many arcade games, you only shoot one thing at a time. But we got chaos, man, there's so much stuff happening. Damage meters going up, multiple mines coming in. And they're, oh, they got me on that one. They're targeting my accuracy. So every time I'm missing a shot, they're counting it at the end. So you're not going to get as many points for it. Oh, but yeah, it's pretty easy to guess how they're playing, but I'm so glad it's not crazy hard like Devil Zone. Okay, here we go. Last one. Here we go. Here we go. That's the way to do it. Radar Scope. This is great. Yeah, this is pretty fun. Complete attack mission. Damage 0%. And so next round, different colored ships. It's most likely going to get progressively harder and harder, as is all arcade games. Just crank it up a notch, make things move a little faster. Yeah, they're already starting to bring out the mines. They reset my damage meter, though, every round, which is nice. But I'm just laying a hail fire down on them, shooting over and over again. Oh, there we go. Down. Am I still going on the same quarter? I am. In the top left of the screen is my number of lives, and it looks like after a certain number of points, I got an extra one. Yep, every time that it hits the bottom, it's increasing the damage meter, and it looks like even whenever I get hit, oh man, I love when they catch on fire. That's a cool effect. Yeah, well done, Nintendo. This works great. It's I can't really say it's like Devil Zone. It only has the grid like Devil Zone, but it's great to play because of the way things are coming in. It's not as difficult, and you kind of get used to the attack pattern. Oh, we can put our name in. Cool. How long can we go? That looks like a lot of letters. I get 34 seconds. Sweet. Yes. You can put so everyone that has a super long name can put it in Radar Scope. Yes, name was registered. We're the first person to play the arcade cabinet, so of course we're going to get the high score on them. At least we better get the high score if we're the only ones that have ever played Radar Scope. All right, so put another quarter in, push and start. Captain, your duties are to shoot 48 UFOs. Good luck. And it's 2-player alternating, so you're not able to play at the same time. It's very rare to be able to play 2 at once for an arcade game at this time. Everything's alternating to the point. Yeah, see, now that I've got the hang of the game and how I can shoot, notice that in the back row, we have some enemies that are going in and out of the grid, which means you can only hit them when they enter the grid. But you can still shoot them off if you're good enough. Yeah, cool idea, though. I like that. That you can still get them from far away, and they have a depth to the game. I'm shooting a shot, and then it takes a while to get all the way down to the end of the screen. Yep, here come the mines. And I'm down. No explosion sound. But we do have this background. Listen to the background noise. It sounds like the square track for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Or the bass. Oh, you know what it really sounds like? It sounds like the bass for Donkey Kong. Yeah, it's the same sound effect, just a slightly different tune, but it's Donkey Kong. And it's funny because this ends up turning into Donkey Kong at some point. Yeah, the bum, 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 bum. It's just little arpeggios going on in the background, but it's really funny knowing that we know Donkey Kong is going to come up. I'll just pretend it just sounds cool to have some thumping in the background, but it's more a beat. It's not like a The End or Space Invaders where it feels like you're about to die. But it plays over the spaceships flying in. That's awesome. All right, so this was excellent. That was Radar Scope for the arcades. Man, now I'm in a pickle because I had so many shooters back to back. I feel like I want to give this one a 4.5 too. Because I went into it thinking, well, it didn't sell well and they ended up turning into something else, but it's still really good for 1980. But can I say it's the same as the other shooters we saw this episode? So we had New York, and The End. But see, after Pac-Man, everything just doesn't seem as good. The End, though, was excellent. It should be 4.5, and then because we had the talking and the gimmick there, it should be 4.5 too. I don't think I can make these go down to 4 because of how well they perform. As far as every other video game we've played from 1980, I think I want to give all of them 4.5 because of every other video game from 1980, they all play so well. Yeah, we're gonna do it. For everything else we've seen from 1980, these are 4.5. Even Radar Scope, surprisingly, it's excellent. Okay, so this is where we will leave tonight on Radar Scope, and we will continue playing every single video game. Join us next time whenever you're available, whenever you can, YouTube or Twitch. We will see you then. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.